I'm alright.
Still in Canada.
Yes.
You need to get up to Miami, get some sunlight in you.
Yeah. I uh I think about it every day. I even packed my suitcase one time. But
I think you're still allowed to go home. Oh, excuse me. I think you're still allowed to go home. You just can't go back.
and that's the issue.
Yeah.
So how's everything with you?
Good. Fine. Okay, week. I've been thinking about that bowling deal.
Really?
What's yeah? I haven't worked on it because I. Is there a specific kata that you tried or something like that I could look at?
Yeah, you should just be able to Google bowling kata and you should see like the that kata website. Hold up.
I did
Um
that. There's a bunch of them. Is the thing.
it's a website that has a cat on it on the landing page. Um if I just do cold katas. If I do cold katas, there's coldkata.com. Yeah, that's the one with the cat on it. Is there a bowling one on there? Maybe not. Uh, yeah, I think I miscommunicated. I don't think this website has the actual bowling kata.
Hmm. There's a coding dojo one that does.
Okay.
And there's a what's this?
Yeah, I mean, I tried it. I tried to implement bowling in F sharp and I failed miserably. I think I would have pretty much cruised using C sharp, but I just failed miserably trying to use the functional paradigm.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I would be, well, because I mean, I guess it just depends on how the input comes in and everything like that. Just because like if you're trying to track the game over the course of frames, you're gonna have some chunk of mutability somewheres. But I mean, you could stick
Yeah,
that in a monad, I suppose, or whatever. But
it, I don't know. At a high level, I think you're you're passing around a record that represents all your frames, and then you have a property more than likely that is always going to reference your last frame that you may need to update in the event that you do a spare. Um,
see, I wouldn't probably do that. I would probably like if you look at the very like top level function that I would have, it would literally be it would take an array of numbers. Like that would be it.
okay.
Um, because really, then what you do is you just dice up that number into frames in the function, and then calculate the rules. Because I'm guessing what you're looking for is the output literally just the score, or do you want a structured output that?
No, it's a score.
Yeah, because either you're computing, so the function would be an array of numbers to score, or an array of numbers to a structure that represents the totals per frame plus the total score.
Are you not? Are you not maintaining the actual events of what transpired? Like you knocked out 8 pins in frame one, you knocked out 6 pins in frame two.
Well,
You're
no,
not
that's your array of numbers, right? Because if you think about a bowling game, it's literally just a stream of numbers.
okay.
Now, the if you have to think about the way that the actual bowling alley works, then you'd have to reset things and blah blah blah. But really, it's 8 1, 10 3 0 7, and
Yeah, but then you also get. I don't bowl, right? But my
mhm.
understanding is, depending on your history of how you bowled in a past frame, then you get additional frames, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, then well, sort of. You don't get additional frames. What you do is you add in the score. So like a specific frame takes its base score, which is the two up to two numbers, or it could be one if it's 10. So you can compute that based on your input stream, right? Where the frame boundaries are based on did I get more than 10? Uh, if I score a 10 immediately, then it's two. It's automatically one frame. If I get uh, two numbers in a row that amount to 10, or otherwise it's two total inputs, right?
Hmm.
Sorry. So that's your base score, and then your total score is then either the combination of those two numbers, or if that number is 10, then you have to add it in based on is did you get a natural 10 where you did it the first time, in which case you add the next two frame values, um, which could be they're not done because you have an incomplete game, in which case you have to handle that case. Or if it's a spare, you only add, so you have two numbers that produce 10, then you just add in the next, value in the array.
Yeah,
So if you have just raw inputs of, I mean, the raw input numbers, you can easily expand this out just based on the rules of the game and compute the final score and compute a structure that actually indicates what you'd see on a bowling you know
scorecard.
scorecard or whatever. So um, if
All
you
right,
had to
well,
actually, I guess I don't know about the other side where if you were actually trying to compute the like whether you should, well, no, reset the, yeah, I don't know, pin states or something like that, then that might be tricky. But yeah, yeah, I'll just look at the kata and see if I can. I might try this week because I was interested in it last week, but I wasn't sure on what specifically you were trying to do, so I didn't want to work on it.
yeah, I mean, go for it. It's I failed, but I'm sure you'll succeed.
Well, I
Um,
know I can do it in C sharp.
yeah, same
I'll
here.
get messed up with the F sharp language, but I don't think that it requires any state maintaining other than at that very root level of what numbers pop into your array. Um, so
I oh, I heard a door knocking. I I'm torn between trying to brute force my hour in the morning, hour in the evening every day versus uh, appeasing the marketing guy at my job and trying to establish a consistent reputation of delivering. And the more I reflect on it, the more I feel like they're not going to make me a partner of the software company. Like it's not like a law firm where like you give your life and then you make it to being a partner of the firm. Like software companies don't really work like that.
well, some do if you do really, but you don't
Hiring a
really do it well.
contractor, hiring a
Yeah,
contractor, and converting them into a partner after like 5 years or whatever. No,
no, you don't. But I don't think they hire contractors in law. I mean, if you were a full time employee, maybe then you're working towards partnership. Maybe in some firms, like the company, I could see that happening in the company that I worked for a short period of time. Like they had like three or four business partners, and then they had a bunch of coders and stuff like that. But I'm assuming that over time, eventually, they wouldn't just shut the business down or hand it over to some random business person. Like they'd hire certain developers that would eventually, you know, but rarely is it going to be devs. It'll be end up being like people who know how to develop, but they moved on to architecture, project management type roles.
yeah.
So
So I'm questioning how I spend my time, and even though the work is very interesting to me and I enjoy it only because I enjoy working by myself. like I'm
man,
just
I can't say I
questioning
get that job.
I'm just questioning the amount of devotion that I'm giving that particular gig versus developing myself and my own interests of my projects with the time that I should be working on it, you know. Because I mean, right now I'm just early in the morning, late in the evening, delivering their dream instead of mine. Um, yeah, so I'm just reflecting.
Yeah, it's the lack of when the beach is out of sight. The beach delivery app is too. Maybe.
Oh,
No,
I
just
think.
kidding.
Well, I think the motivation is the economic conditions and me trying to like quote unquote prove myself, um, and just in the event that, which I don't think will happen for this company because they just got acquired, but in the event that people make a decision on trying to reduce cost and who are really the what really is the 20% that's generating 80% of the output or the value. Like, I want to be listed in that 20%. And the thing is, I know I can be, but it's all about visibility, right? Because it's easy to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and not have visibility, you know. So
Yeah,
anyway, I'm questioning if that's really important to me, or should I be like anybody else and just casually come in, do what I need to do based on my competency, and then at the end of the day, all right, I'm done, and that's it. Shelve the work and don't think about it and live life.
yeah.
So,
I guess it depends on how much you need a job right now or no or not. You know. But I mean, the thing is also if the work is speaking to you and you like doing it, you're excited about it, man. That kind of stuff is you know doesn't always happen. So it's probably a good thing to just live in it for a little bit. It'll eventually wear off and you'll hate it.
well, I was originally hired to fix bugs, um, and then new opportunities came up for building out prototypes, and so I've pretty much been knocking those off. As long as I'm working by myself, man, I'm good.
And prototype development, if that's all that anyone ever had to do, like that would be the best job. Is you just repeatedly get prototypes where you can just the point is to like hack it out as fast as possible so that they can evaluate the thing. And that would be my dream situation. You're living the
Well,
dream, man. You're living the dream.
I mean, but they have me iterate on it, so they demo it to the customer, and then the requirements change. I mean, it's a prototype that evolves into a product.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean throwing it out there, but then I mean even fast that rapid iteration, man.
Uh,
That's
because
that'd be
I'm
cool.
not throwing away the code. I'm still putting a lot of thought into like the domain model and the polish and all the other stuff. Which I mean, my skills are getting better when it comes to UX now. So
Yeah, you have to soon put UX designer on your resume, right?
no, I won't do that. They'll start having unreasonable expectations.
Just billable rate will go up though. Maybe like $700 an hour. UX expert.
Well, I got offered a full time job, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm honored that you're extending me an offer to be full time, but what does that really mean? Does that mean that all the hours that I work outside of 40 hours, you get that work for free now? Like, that's the way I translate things. Does that mean that I'm literally working as a slave for 3 4 months out of the year because I'm on W-2 now? Like, I immediately start thinking about the consequences of what full time employees are subject to, regardless if they actually are aware of it or not. Um,
Well, all you have to do is compute what the maximum amount of hours you think you'd work overtime in a, you know, extra hours you might work in a week, above 40 hours, like just your top range. And then,
you're talking about like
um,
renegotiating
yeah,
the
you compute out
hour.
the total. Well, so if they're going to offer you a salary, to be a full-time employee, just make sure that the salary would be worth it. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
if
mean,
you're working 10 extra hours a week, calculate what you'd get paid total with 11 hours extra a week.
well, the thing is like I think I was sitting around for like 8 months without a client, and I just had to humble myself and take quote unquote a pay cut, a significant one, just to have a stream of income. Right. So it was very humbling for me, but I just needed to like just man up and just accept it. Um, and so the reason why I say that is because I mean my actual rate would be like almost double what I'm getting paid right now, you know? And so it's kind of, I don't know, I feel it's more stressful just thinking about even having that conversation because it's weird. It's like you have this belief system of what you're worth based on based on your experience of working with other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, you know, as a contractor from shop to shop. But sometimes you wonder the output that you're generating is even if the business is even considering that, or if you're just ahead, you know, one one of several heads. And is your rate really based on what you produce per day, or is your rate based on what they have budgeted for a developer? And I think it's the latter part.
Yeah, you're ahead. We all are. We're just like we've talked about before. We're just the assembly line blue collar workers of the future. So that's just the way it is. You ever thought about what you'd be doing if you just decided to swap careers tomorrow or do something else?
I'll probably be locked up. I'll probably be in, I don't know, Mansfield Correctional Facility.
I don't know that movie you were in, man. You'd have a real shot as being a being
Oh,
an actor.
Jonathan and Taylor Sharkey. No, I was reflecting on it this morning. Like, it was either be homeless or send an application to move into a dorm for for college. That's the only reason why I lived in the dorm because I was facing being homeless. Yeah, as I was reflecting this morning on like how did I get here where I'm at today. But
Yeah, actually, would it be kind of fun to try a different job again? Like it's been so long since I've actually done anything else but this. But
I mean, if thing is, it's like programming. It's kind of a gift and a curse because I can't turn off analyzing the hell out of everything. Right? I can't turn it off. Like I just can't. Like if I see a pretty girl, like I just automatically start analyzing like what what path I'm going to take, what's the response going to be, blah blah blah. When I'm riding a motorcycle, I'm calculating 3 seconds in the future what a possible accident could look like as I'm going, you know, 45 or 75 miles an hour. Like I that's what programming has done to me. It's I just have all these decision branches that I'm
yeah,
always rotating in my head or juggling in my head. But if I had that training and I were to do a career switch, it would be I think I would be an interrogator, either for the military or homicide. I'm really good at like breaking people down. Like if I got beef with someone like at work and like I know they're like fluff and they're BSing. Like I used to go in um, when I would like get into like arguments with whatever significant other. I used to go in and just systematically just fact, and I think that would carry over nicely into law.
Yeah, could
What about you?
be a lawyer maybe.
No, interrogate. I want to waterboard people as I'm asking questions. So,
So join the CIA or something.
pretty much.
There you go.
Or be a corrections officer, but like a special unit, like gang unit.
Dang.
What about you?
I don't know what I'd be doing. Um, I know that I think about regularly, like wanting to try to. You know, the problem with software development is that it's got the golden handcuff effect. So like as a software developer who gets paid pretty well, like what can you do and maintain the same kind of standard of living that you're used to?
Outside of the tech industry, like if you got out of tech, period. Because I mean, usually you just be a manager or architect, whatever.
Yeah, there are other professions that are like this, but um, it's no matter what, you're taking a pay cut, and or having to go back to school and gamble on that you'll actually like doing something else.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a natural transition, especially when you get really when you stop programming and you get more into like the engineering side of things and the like the actual like thoughtfulness of architecture and stuff like that. I think a natural transition is like forensics and law enforcement. Like I think anything that deals with tactics is a natural transition, if not progression. For me, it is. That's the way I translate it. Um, or I'll just be a professional RTS player because it's the same thing. Like you're still being tactical, short term with like four different branches of how you're going to start off the game, depending on who you're up against, and then like
Yeah, that's where my head is. Well, actually, it's funny you said that because that's like my head is right now spinning around. What would it be like to try to build a career in esports? And in that field, I'm pretty sure is mostly sub 30 people. um, but so there's probably some ageism type things you'd have to get into. But
on Twitch, is there any type of setting to filter what you want the landing page to be? Because on Twitch, they'll automatically just blast
yeah,
someone's thing. And like on two different occasions, it was a drag queen, and I tried my hardest to figure out how to turn that off, and I couldn't figure it out. It really annoyed me.
I don't know. Maybe if you go directly to their browse page when you go to Twitch instead of going to the main page. I
It
don't know.
annoyed me. Like I'm okay, like when the landing page is someone playing a video game, but like a dude putting on lipstick and eyeliner, and it happens more than one time. Like I didn't sign up for that at all.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can set that. You can probably turn off autoplay somewhere. So
I'm sure the Twitter community is going to attack me for saying that. How dare you not enjoy? What do you mean? F though. Anyway,
see, I went there, and the first thing was this League of Legends guy watching a video of Guga Foods, which I've seen those kinds of videos, and oh man,
I was on there. I think early yesterday morning, and on the landing page, it was like an Australian lady playing like Grand Theft Auto, and she had like 1,800 people watching her play Grand Theft Auto. First of all, Grand Theft Auto is like the most boring game ever. And she had an audience of 1,800 people watching her drive a car through a town. Like, I don't know. People probably say the same thing about me watching people write Python or JavaScript. Like, why?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's nice to just have something on in the background. Um, I mean, sometimes the streamers are entertaining. Sometimes they look themselves look good.
Yeah, I mean, she was eye candy. You finished your table?
No, I'm not a I'm not a table builder anymore.
Okay. I need to check my bank account. I'm supposed to get paid today. I'm like 2 months in the hole, so I should have a pretty fat deposit today. And I'm willing to bet that something else happened and my deposit's not going to be in my account. I was really thinking about taking the money today and visiting a dealership whenever they do open up.
Bike dealer or car
Yeah,
dealer?
go to a motorsports dealership because I don't have any transportation up here. And like the first time I'll just get a motorcycle. Split lanes, get through traffic. Yeah,
Get
and
the
then
monkeys to pull you over, man.
now that they can't catch me. They can't catch me. Right? Not on a motorcycle. So you forget. I live in Florida. it's it's different rules. It's different policies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Right now you're living in Canada, a.
Yeah, and it's a very congested. Toronto's a very congested city, so they're going to need a helicopter or motorcycle cops to catch anybody on a bike. They will. All right. Spend some time, ride with me in Miami, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Of course, in Miami, I got a three wheeler, and so I I can't I can't run. So like when they get into police chases, I just stop, I turn around, and I go home. It's different from Cleveland. Cleveland, the cops will try to kill you. In Miami, they have laws out there where the police don't pursue motorcycles,
Hmm.
or they don't get into high speed chases with motorcycles, or else they'll get a fat civil lawsuit, and so they just have policies where they just don't do it unless it's related to like a robbery or homicide. If it's not like a first degree felony, then they're not going to pursue you unless they're rookie cops and they just don't know any better, and then they'll still suffer the consequences. Like 2 years ago, um, we were riding and we were like 20 deep, and a cop got behind me and I pulled over. And then he just went around me and he started chasing a couple, a husband and wife that were like just hauling. And by the time I got to like the on ramp to the freeway, I saw a whole bunch of bikers just standing next to their bikes on the bridge, and they were trying to flag me down, and they were pointing down below the bridge. And that husband and wife that were hauling on their motorcycle, as they were trying to get away from the cop, they ran into the railing of the on ramp, and they flipped over the bridge. And he landed on his dead. He died. I don't know what happened to his wife. They were both laying on the island in the middle of an intersection. It was pretty effed up. So yeah, man, it's Florida. Florida's crazy. Florida and California are the craziest states.
You've clearly never been to North Dakota.
North Dakota just
Just
seems like
kidding,
a whole bunch
man.
of Indian reservations.
I'm just kidding. North Dakota's kind of. No, I mean, it's a fine place. It's just.
But they don't make the moves. They don't make the news consistently every day about something, some crazy person doing something. whether it's road rage or
I had a professor once that was he was in the Air Force, uh, for, and then he later became a professor, or whatever. And he was stationed in North Dakota for a while, and he said that occasionally what they would do is when they were doing their helicopter things, or training or whatever, is they would fly out to like in the middle of the night to like farmers' houses and turn on their lights, and then watch the news for the next few weeks to see if or the next couple days to see if there was a UFO sighting. Um, that farmers would communicate or whatever. So I just thought that was pretty funny.
it's pretty weird.
But
So, what are you about to make a transition in your career? Are you going to be a professional esports commentator?
no, I'm gonna start the premier league, home league, no, rec league for esports. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like I like the I like playing the games. I mean, it jives me because any real competitive game like that has always been really kind of been really attached to it. I guess
How often
spoke to me, but
how often do your kids completely disrupt your game session and you have to put your controller down and just forfeit the match?
occasionally, never forfeit, but occasionally they'll interrupt me while I'm sitting here. It depends on if I'm playing ranked or not. How I respond. If I'm playing ranked, I might go just hold on, guys. But if I'm playing norms, I might pick them up and put them on my lap or whatever and stuff
Mm,
like that. But
I feel like you would have to like set up your gaming studio in the garage and lock the door so you can't be interrupted. Because I feel like whenever I'm like deeply immersed in the game, someone always needs my attention, and I always have to. And if I don't put away the stick, then I get in trouble. So
yeah, yeah, I know how that goes. Everything they'd say to you while you're playing games, they might as well just have not said to you because you don't hear it if you're actually focused. I mean, that's the thing; they require focus. But I don't know. I love competitive play, um, especially like competitive games like League of Legends or Call of Duty and stuff like that. But and I always have. I mean, that's really the only type of video games I really like to play now. Um, just like occasionally there's other ones, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how you even where like unless you're gonna try to become a streamer, and I don't think I don't think I have the personality to be an entertaining streamer. Um, on a game and compete with all the top streamers, like pretty rough. Um, and it's a long haul type thing, and you have to be consistent about it. It's probably not for the normal average person, but it'd be kind of fun to just try to land something in that arena. Um, Actually, it'd be fun to just try to do anything other than software development for a while. Maybe make me appreciate how good we have it. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I think I agree. It takes its toll, especially with people that treat it more than just a 9 to 5. It, I keep just dwelling on how much I seek validation in in my career and how I rarely ever receive the type of validation that I'm looking for. And I was having a conversation with a software development coach a couple of days ago, and I've heard the same feedback from a couple of people where it's like just stop. Like you keep searching for it, you're not going to get it. All right. Um, I think they're right, but that's just the way I'm wired, man. Anyways,
Hmm. So what else is new? So you didn't work at all on your thing this last week then?
no, there's been a couple times where I launched like the 10 different solutions to begin to work on it, and then I just get stressed out, and I just close it. Um, I, I keep saying that like Monday I'm gonna or on Saturday I'm gonna start, and I think I am. It's just I get stressed out about this one part that I want to get done, and it just if I have to pick and choose between spending like another 8 hours resolving that one part of this beach delivery app so that I could start coasting again on all the other parts versus try to appease the business with showing them how awesome of a developer I am to get that validation and to hopefully build up an argument for a huge increase in compensation. I just usually lean towards the latter part, even though it's a high probability it won't materialize.
What
So
is it you always say to me?
man
Man
up.
up.
Well, man up about what the passion project? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's not much of a passion project anymore.
It's really just this one part that is just it's just stressful just thinking about how to push through it, and then I really do think that I'll just coast from there. So today's Friday, Saturday morning.
Did I lose your audio? Might have lost your audio. I don't know if it's me or you.
It's me.
There it is.
You hear me now? I
Yep.
was just saying, try to lock myself. I said this last 2 weekends. Try to lock myself up for the weekend and just hammer through it and get it done.
Yeah, it's too bad you couldn't think of some way to reward yourself after doing it. There's little reward in side projects until you're done with them, and the long haul is there. So
I could buy
really
myself a
difficult.
motorcycle when I complete it. Like when I get Stripe wired up, which is for financial transactions, and when I get the courier stuff to report the daily, weekly, monthly reports, then maybe I could trick my mind into saying I deserve a new motorcycle. What I used to do to motivate myself was I used to just go to Panera Bread and I would just eat sweets for that 4 to 5 hours of programming, and it wasn't as stressful. But I was just gaining hella weight, and I was doing it like every day. I would go to like a food court at a mall, or I would go to Bahama Breeze, and I would just feed. I would
Uh,
just gorge as I'm programming, and I mean it helps me. It relieves the pain of just programming by being by in parallel just satisfying your taste buds.
there you go. You should just go and buy a bunch of those Pillsbury cinnamon rolls packages.
Yeah.
Put them in your oven and make like a Panera bread. You just have a sweet stack of them next to you.
Well, I mean, there's times
Nah,
where
I'm just kidding.
I buy those pecan. I don't know what they're called, pecan rolls, pecan whatever, but they're like cinnamon rolls or pecans in them. And there's times where I just gorge off of that. You get like 8 of them for like $2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I usually play video games and munch on that at the same time.
Found a way to work out yet?
I got I finally got some dumbbells,
There you go.
but I only work out once a week now.
It's all you
It's
need. No, just kidding.
I'm just I have excuses for everything, right? I'm just I'm so used to working out outside and having that routine every day that just the whole change in the environment just effed up everything. It effed up my motivation. It just I got excuses for days, but like this lockdown effed me up, man. I've been on house arrest for like 3 months. I'm tired of it.
Just moved to North Dakota. Then there's no lockdown there.
Why you keep saying North Dakota? I thought you lived in Minnesota.
I do. I used to live near North Dakota though, and
I
the
think that,
Dakotas are just like a. It's like kind of like the Wild West, man. They're
well, it's just Indian. I just
super
thought it was
safe.
just Native American reservations everywhere and casinos.
No, I mean Fargo and Grand Forks are pretty nice cities, and Minot's. I mean, they're pretty nice. The oil fields and stuff too. I thought we had a conversation about this one day, man. When the oil boom happened out there, which is kind of shut down now until probably oil goes way, way back up again. But man, it was like the Wild West. There were brothels and lots of drugs, and it was like crazy. People were getting paid like $20 an hour to work at Taco Bell.
Did they even have established like city police, or was it just state troopers?
Oh, I don't really know. I just when the oil boom happened, it was you'd hear all these stories because basically it was like we need a crap ton of labor all at once, and so people like a bunch of people moved there because you get paid a lot of money um, to work on the oil fields. So so yeah, tent cities popped up, and I don't know how they were policed, but I know like people who lived in Minot, like the real estate market went nuts. So like you couldn't buy houses for at all. So, but
You have any plans to capitalize on having a job and buying, taking advantage of things that are cheap right now?
no, man, I don't know. I don't really want much. I just want to do something different.
Yeah.
And you know, we have kids. It's like okay, you could do some travel and stuff, but I don't know. I just like I don't get the kick out of all of that kind of stuff. Like other, you know, like I read all the Twitter posts and stuff about like dads really getting excited about doing certain activities with their kids and stuff, and I don't get that much satisfaction out of that kind of work stuff. Like I love my kids for sure, and it's fun to hang out with them a while, but like I don't they don't do things that I'm super interested in.
Mm.
But I don't know. You're not supposed to say that though, because man, you're supposed to be you're if you're a dad, your life's supposed to be entirely 100% rotated around your kids. As and if you're a mom, you're supposed to be, and if you're not, then you're a bad parent.
Ask Elon Musk.
Did he? So did he name his kid like a serial number or something like that? I didn't.
That's what I heard. But I mean, I think it's just this is what society wants to impose on you, right? So other people process things as, all right, my life is limited. I understand I'm a human being, but I'm not really religious, and whatever society believes that how I should live my life, like I care more about preserving humanity and getting humanity options outside of planet Earth in case this Earth is destroyed. Then I care about then I care about my three children. I care about 7 billion people and how to enable them to continue their existence than three children that resulted from my sperm and me having a good night. So I think people process things differently, um, and if they're like hella rich and they have nannies, they have a team of nannies in addition to their baby mama, then they probably don't have as much. concern about being a rock star dad if financially they're able to provide a lifestyle for their children, regardless of how present they are in their life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The you still hear me?
Yeah,
The other thing I kind of raise up too is that this like focus on children being kind of the thing. That's like a recent development in human history too. Children just weren't like that important.
what the expectation that you should sacrifice your life in the raging house fire to
Well,
get your
no, no.
kids.
I mean, there's that. There's if in like a fight or flight, there's definitely that's different. I think nobody's gonna just sit by and let their kids burn up in a fire without trying to do something. I'm talking about just in general, like um, you know, focusing on trying to always provide them with a bunch of opportunities to do things and taking them places and imparting, you know, literally revolving your life around making sure that they're developing. That's a recent thing in human. And most people like historically had kids just because they needed extra farm hands, right? I mean
Yeah,
that
but you also don't think that some of that motivation, regardless of if people admit it, is so that those kids can quote unquote return the favor when you're no longer able to sustain yourself.
no,
I think subconsciously it is.
yeah, I don't know. I yeah, like I said, I just don't get that. Like, if you talk, I'll give you an example. If you listen to Dave Rail talk about his kids, um, which I've talked to him about before, and he's always just really gung ho about being there for them and doing stuff with and I just don't have that same passion. I guess again, I love them. I want them to do their own thing. You know, I don't want to have to go and make you know try to make opportunities for them. I want them to discover what they want to do, and I'll be here to consult with them when they need me.
Yeah.
But I don't want like I'd rather they just develop themselves and I let them be them. And when they need me, I'll be there for sure. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to, you know, not. I don't know. It's just
But, but,
different philosophy, maybe.
but you don't think someone else might go out of their way to influence their lives if you're not if
Well, my
if
wife
it,
certainly does.
if it's perceived that you're not around to provide guidance.
The thing is that I'm always around, but I'm. It's different from being like, I'm going to, you know, uh, I'm going to put them in all of the sports, you know, everything, just so that they have this broad range of experience. And I'm going to sign them up for this class and that class, and we're going to take them to this museum or to this and all that. And I want to do other things.
Yeah.
Like I want to play games, and I want to do my thing. I don't want to be just exhausted all the time working and then working on them.
I
Like,
don't know. I think if I had a especially a boy, I think I would register him in MMA classes like early, like probably like around 5. I want him to master the guillotine, a couple other moves, and so I never have to worry about consoling him because he's being bullied. Like there's certain things that like I think I would prefer early on in life for my children to understand before society gets a hold of them, because society is brutal, man. And so there's if I know what's likely to happen to them if they don't experience a certain type of training or receive certain type of discipline, then I feel like that can be a form of debt that you're going to be paying back for a long time to try to like resolve some of those issues. So I don't know. What do I know? I do watch a lot of MMA though. But that's it.
Yeah. Actually, so much of what people, I think a lot of parents do with their kids are just keeping up with the Joneses type thing. Like they're doing it for the sake of, being able to say they did it or whatever. It's not. It's more about them than it is the kids themselves. Like
I really hate Instagram.
you should build a competitor that doesn't suck. Then
No, the thing is I don't want there to be a competitor. I don't want there to be an Instagram. I just want it to go away. Because like I think a lot of people they get conditioned to look at Instagram and look at everybody's perfect lives and like
yeah,
and want to follow that and they try to compete, right? And I just I hate it. It Instagram is a tabloid that has been bundled into a mobile app. And instead of following quote unquote movie stars, celebrities, and the rich and famous, you're following other celebrities that may not necessarily be rich, may not necessarily be famous, but you keep checking in on their lives instead of you living your own life. And they are purposely trying to make you admire what they're doing and admire quote unquote their perfect life as they put on their makeup and as they set up all those props so that they could take a photo or record a video to make other people envious. And I hate it. I hate it.
man, I don't ever
I,
get
I
into
have an
there.
argument about it. Probably like every 2 weeks, I have an argument about why are you looking at that crap? You don't need to tell me what to do. You don't control it. Like, get off of that. I hate
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. I don't ever look at it. I think my wife looks at it occasionally, but she does her own thing. Um, I don't know what people
Like,
get out of it.
read a book. Like, stop obsessing. Why are you always in other people's business? No, it's not about that. I I like to look at restaurants and food. No, you don't. You like to look at other people's lives because your life isn't interesting enough. I'm done venting.
Yeah, yeah. It's a slow week. So yeah, I'll try that. I might try that bowling thing this week. See if I can.
Hold on. So you already know F sharp. You already know the basics.
No, I'm pretty sure I can learn it though.
I downloaded this Visual Studio extension. I kind of like it. It was weird for like the first 5 minutes, but I like it now. It's called I think it's called Power Mode. And so it's basically as you're typing each character, your screen shakes and
Oh, boom! Yeah, I've seen those
yeah
particle effects and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I like it. I feel like I'm cool now. I was I was on Twitch like a couple of days ago, and I was watching some C sharp developer do something, and he had like these weird effects as he was like writing code. And I'm like, and I looked, and he was on Visual Studio, and I'm like, how are you doing that? He was like, oh, I got this extension. I just immediately downloaded the extension, terminated the session with them, just did it. I like it.
Boom.
It's like an earthquake every time you type in a key. So
Yeah, I've seen those things before. They're pretty sweet. I
uh,
haven't tried it. Well, no, no. Yeah, no, I haven't tried it.
oh, I was asking. So you already know the basics of F sharp syntax?
No, not
You said
really.
you're going to do your that kata.
I'll try. I mean, I could probably get the basic stuff down. Then you can show me. You can just show me quick where I'm wrong
Okay.
next week if I do it.
All
So,
right.
but yeah, like I said, I have trouble believing that you couldn't model it. It's hard to do.
I mean, I tried like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but maybe it's yeah, just should try it again maybe then. But I can understand if you also didn't know bowling, how
I don't know
bowling worked.
bowling. I was looking at the Wikipedia website for bowling, and I was referencing that for the requirements.
Yeah, it's I took a I took a I took a course in bowling in college. It's my just random gym class. Actually, I took it my senior year because I was like, I didn't need to. I didn't have any requirement for it. But I'm like, I just
It
want
was,
to take a class just for shits and giggles.
it was considered physical education.
Oh yeah, we literally went to the bowling alley once a week and bowled.
I was gonna say your college had a bowling alley.
No, but there's a bowling alley in town that we would go to.
Uh,
And I mean, they taught you the basics of scoring, and then um, there were some like we had a hand score a couple times. But actually, it was funny because the person teaching it was like, yeah, we're really just coaches for the football or hockey team or whatever, but they need to have us keep busy with other things, so they do these like random sports class or physical education classes just to kind of have the illusion that they're doing something.
mm.
But the guy didn't put much work into it. He even had to get a book on bowling. It's pretty nuts.
I think the most relaxed class I've ever had was probably it wasn't called what was it what's it called the class where like it's like a kitchen class something
Home
ed
ec.
home ec. I had a class like that in high school and it was laughable. 'Cause didn't do anything but just show up. But yeah, I still have nightmares about missing a class in college and I have to repeat the whole semester. It's a recurring nightmare I have about 3 times a year. I had one like last week. I graduated college in 2007 and I still have nightmares. So
Damn. Yeah, I don't have any nightmares about college.
yeah.
I did the other day. I was looking through an old computer though, and I found a philosophy paper that I wrote, um, and I couldn't understand any of it. I'm like reading it. It was an existentialist philosophy paper, and I'm like, what? What is this? Man, you forget all that stuff. You don't use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm tapping out.
Yeah, me too.
Try to get this demo done for 9:30. So,
Sounds good. All
all
right.
right.
Have a
See
good
ya.
week.
Bye.
Bye.